And joining me now is the mayor of Yuma, Arizona, Doug Nicholls. He's a Republican. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Now, I'd like to start with your reaction to today's executive order by President Biden. Do you think this goes far enough to address the high level of border crossings we've seen over the past few years?
No, I don't think it goes far enough. It's one of those things that it'll be a good tool in the toolbox, but in and of itself is not going to change the whole flow of what's happening along the border for over the last 3 years.
And as you say, it's sort of just a tool. What do you think it'll mean for your city, Yuma, specifically?
Well, for us right now, our numbers are down, and I think it has a lot to do with the way the federal attorneys that are over this Yuma sector have been pursuing prosecutions. And so people have been returned to their home countries through that process, which has discouraged others to come through the Yuma area. That's really what we need all along the border, is that kind of process. And so with this executive order going in place, it's going to be, just because of the nature of the process, going to be applied differently in different sectors. So we're going to have to wait and see how effective it's going to be in those sectors that are really busy, and if there's any backlash in the sectors that are not as busy.
Yeah. And we know that there, of course, was at the White House today a ceremony, an event where the president signed this or talked about signing this. You were invited to that. You were unable to attend. Would you be open to a future White House visit?
I actually go to the White House all the time to have these discussions. I definitely would be open to a visit to discuss issues. Photo op, not so much, but looking at, as I discussed earlier this year with the White House staff, Tom Perez, what the issues are for our community and some suggestions that we put out there for further discussion. So I definitely want to be at the table. I want to help influence policy, but it's been 3.5 years. I've made this offer every time I've spoken. It's one of those things. It's pretty late in the game. It does say that what all the border mayors and myself have said is that the president can do things without Congress to have a positive impact along the border. He's waited this long to make that happen. And that's the frustrating part.
You just mentioned that you wouldn't want to go to the White House for a photo op. Do you think that today was a photo op?
Well, at this point, the executive order was cast. There was no discussion to sit down with the president or his staff to say, if we modify this, or if we look at adding this provision, that would be a stronger bill or a stronger executive order. Those conversations didn't happen in the creation of this.
I've come here today.
So that's why I think we could have a better sit down and have more of a working meeting than it is just
4 months ago,
a photo op, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand. I want to also ask you, there's some concern with this executive order that it could overwhelm the resources of Customs and Border Protection. The Biden administration has argued Congress needs to act to provide more money for those kinds of resources. Would you like to see more focus on that issue from Capitol Hill?
Definitely. I think funding is one of those things that gets caught up in a lot of other ancillary issues. Funding for our men and women in Border Patrol, adding more agents, Customs, ERO in particularly needs, in ICE needs a lot more funding. Those things are trapped in Congress right now. We need to have that move through, but then we also need the president being willing to work with Congress to get those things enacted and the funding levels where they really need to be.
Yeah. I also want to ask you about Congress. Of course, there was that bipartisan bill. You called it a good start. What's your message to lawmakers, especially lawmakers in your party, Republicans, who rejected it?
Well, I think it's really about where we're going on a political scale. We need to ignore the partisan side of this discussion, which the timing of this executive order throws that right in the face of that, in that we're coming at the end of a term. And so that always becomes hyper partisan. If we would have addressed this a year or two earlier, it would have been a lot easier to take the partisanship out of the discussion. At the end of the day, I know the whole delegation from Arizona, they work hard trying to get right answers for our state. And there's always going to be different perspectives. And every sector within Arizona is going to have different needs and different priorities. So there's a lot going on in this arena, and one executive order is not going to solve everything.
And you just said that you want to take partisanship out of this, but is that actually possible, you think? Especially, you think about that bipartisan bill, it was all blown up because former President Trump basically said he wanted it rejected.
Well, obviously, if it was as easy as just saying we're going to take partisanship out of it, somebody would have done that. But that's just not the case. And particularly when you're at the end of a cycle and so many electeds are coming up for election, they're going to look to report to their base. They're going to go back to those positions. So from a political standpoint, this was the wrong time to try to do something nonpartisan. It needed to be done 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mayor Nicholls. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.